Alright, it's been a while since I've actually done a video on CMakeEasy. This is the upteenth time I've tried to record for this. I don't usually script these videos when it comes to programming stuff. I just wanted to show you that this is the the source folder for the project. This is the unstable version, or the devel version, whatever you want to call it. Even though I would say it's reasonably stable, actually, but I don't know if I want to push it to main yet, because there's a lot I want to add before that happens. But as it stands, this is the version that I'm hoping to put into the master branch by either the end of this month or next month. Anyway, I still get a little nervous when making these videos, so sometimes my response to this stuff is nervous laughter. But I just want to, No, I just want to show people what to expect. As you can see, that's the CMakeEasy folder, and you might recognize that some of these scripts are different, that there have been some scripts added to the main project. Install's always been there, build's always been there, and run have always been there. But I added an uninstall script that very specifically looks for the binary and files that are created by the install script. I considered using the output from build's CMakeLists output, where it just goes to a file manifest and deletes for that. But there are so few files overall that I didn't think it would be a big deal to just tell it to delete a specific directory. If I needed to uninstall the project, it would just delete the directory holding the text files. During the time I was recording that last video, that last clip, it took me a few minutes to realize I had set the uninstall script to the wrong parameters. And so that was why it was on the unstable branch, because I knew some things weren't quite ready for people to use, and I figured out which things those were. Anyway, just gonna move over to the where the main project is kept. Yeah, and I think CMakeEasy was uninstalled on purpose right before I started this. See, doesn't exist. So you just run sudo install. This is only for Linux, obviously, and it gets that done pretty quickly. It just tells you if the binary exists already. If it doesn't, it just creates the files. It makes the directories, everything you could ever need. So after that, well, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the uninstall works as well, because it's a very quick and painless process. It just asks if you say no, it doesn't go through with it. Say yes, it goes through the folders, deletes them pretty quickly, and then CMakeEasy is gone again. Just wanted to prove that those work, and then they work again. And yeah. As of right now, when CMakeEasy is started up, you have to hit Control-C. I'm working on trying to get a way to cancel the program in execution, but it's tricky. So I'll figure something out. Alright, so CMakeEasy, I'm going to assume that it's been installed to your system, if you're bothering to watch this, or you're just curious about how it works, like I said. You have to hit Control-C to quit out of a line right now. It may create a little bit of a memory leak, but I don't have a good way to compensate for that until I create a finalized exit command. Thankfully, CMakeEasy uses very little heap, and it's all smart pointers, so I don't think it'll be a big deal. I would like to eliminate the use of the share pointers, but they're kind of necessary for execution, so it can't be avoided. You just run CMakeEasy once it's installed. Please do not, when it's got these brackets around the number, it's the number that it wants you to enter, so that's like the major version. Then you'd have the program's minor version, and then you'd have the release version. That's for which version of CMake that you're using in particular, because it's not asking about your program's version yet. So see, it tells you you have designated your version as 3.22.1. That's just the version that CMakeEasy was compiled with. It's just the one I keep as a consistency, because as of right now, it still works just fine for my purposes. Yours may be different, it may be newer, or it might even work in older versions of CMake. I've not tried it. So anyway, let's, as a good example, just do CMakeEasy. And if you want to add a version number, you can, and it uses a similar process. Let's say this is CMakeEasy 2.0. This is actually literally how I set up the CMakeEasy file, or I mean the CMake file for it. I use SFML as kind of a baseline for like a representation of how to use packages. So you want SFML 2 because it's version 2. The minor version doesn't really matter in this context. And because it doesn't, the program doesn't ask for yes or no because character input can be problematic, so it's usually just easier to accept a numeric input. So just do yes. So now it'll say that SFML2 is required. And this is the point where you have to designate the components of the library you're using. Let's say you're using graphics, window, system. That's just for the stuff you know that you don't need. And it tells you right here, it's like if you don't need it, just enter none. You don't need to add the apostrophes here. It always asks for a new package, but you don't have to keep adding packages, just type none again. And it actually might be a little broken there because it's supposed to display a message there, but it didn't that time. Anyway, then you just ask for, you just tell it the version of C++ you're using. If it's the most up-to-date, do 23. You may or may not want CMake to be super verbal about building the program. If you don't, hit 2. If you do, hit 1 and hit enter. Main.cpp. I can't remember the files for CMake 2 off the top of my head, so we'll just assume that's all there is. And then you have to relink the libraries and components because it has to figure out where it's drawing from, because that's how CMake works. So for SFML, you don't want to use the capital version again. You just type lowercase SFML, and then it'll show you there's a dash there. Add graphics, system, window. It doesn't really matter in the order in the second one as far as I know. It'll ask if you want more packages. Say no, I don't really want more packages. If you want to add special instructions like messages and installs, you can. Just type the instruction for the message. As an example, status installing CMakeEasy 2. Something like that. It'll close it off for you. Even if you can't see it, it's just a strange formatting problem in the program. And if you're done with instructions, you just hit none. Keep in mind that was for the Windows version. The Linux version can be separate. It doesn't keep them the same because they can have slightly different instructions. Installing CMakeEasy 2. Then hit none. And then the last is entirely up to you, but I'd appreciate it if you did it. You can just tell CMakeEasy if you want it to do an auto-generated comment at the end of your CMake lists and tell them about CMakeEasy. Just to be non-biased, I'm going to say no, I don't actually want that. So I'm going to cat into CMake lists.txt, and this is what it actually wrote out to the file. You've got your CMake minimum required here. You've got the project number, and like from the major, the minor, and the release. It lets it know that it's a C-based program, and honestly, this version of CMakeEasy only works with C++ right now anyway. It tells you the SFML is required, the components, and links them up. That's just like a almost like a header. It just tells the program that it's to be expected later on. It sets the standard, sets as required. Depending on how you told it on the verbosity, it'll say true or false, or just will exclude the line. It adds the executable, and naturally, if you add extra class files, it'll just new line and add more files from there. It'll target the link libraries that you gave it. So you notice how I typed in graphics system and window earlier. Now it links those systems. It automatically includes the include always includes the include folder. It tells the compilation features and provides the standard message. And depending on what instructions you gave to the command, it'll say if when 32, it'll make a specific message or command based on what you gave it, and it automatically closes off. Same for Linux, which comes up as Unix here. And because I didn't ask it to generate the other stuff, it didn't generate an additional line that tells you it was made with CMakeEasy. You can say that you just wrote it yourself if you don't want to seem like you used a program to do it for whatever reason.